Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides in the universal energies. Entertainment only. Okay, what do I want to have a look at? Well, first of all, I had a look at the Orange Felon schedule. Aside from supposedly still to be advised attending the Knicks game on Monday night, nothing on his schedule. So let's see how it goes. My guides were still yabbering at me, watch the turnpike last night. So I'm watching it. I told them I'm watching it. Now, I do apologise, I'm on a little bit late today. I had grandma duties, got called up for grandma duties. It's public holiday here today, King's birthday weekend. Grandma duties this morning. Spotty had a bit of a rough night last night. Not that you'd believe it, seeing him today. He's back to his old self. After grandma duties, I realised I had come home with a tiny little precious object in my pocket. So I had to turn around and head back over to drop it off, etc. And it does mean hubby's home today, so I had to just wait till he finished up with the office. So I'm only doing the 2 readings today. Now I'm going to use this particular reading, the Sci-Fi Tarot, and then I'm actually probably going to have a use of the Starseed Oracle. I haven't pulled it out for a while, but the reason why is one of my lovely viewers, thank you Carol, sent me a video that I watched before I had grandma duties. I watched, put it on fast forward and read the subtitles because these videos can be quite long at times, only 30 minutes long, but if I watched every 30-minute video that I get sent every day would be as long as a week. But this actually, by the time I got back from grandma duties, this one was really messing with me. And it's messing with a few things. So the video, it is on a channel called Veritasum. Now spell that Veritasum. It's got over 20 million subscribers. And it's the video titled Something is Jamming GPS Over Europe. Here is what we found. Now, really interesting, most of it straight over my head as they were going through the calculations, etc. But about the 25-minute is where you get the real information. And what it's about is it's about the GPS on a semi-regular basis, happened again earlier this year, glitching in Europe, in Greater Europe. Now, what happened, so it's been happening for years. When I say regularly, it gets detected, well, it's not constant, but, it happens every so often. What happened this year, I believe it was February this year, is that the actual signal that glitched the GPS system was captured. The information was captured about where the glitch came from by 2 different sites in Europe. One of them was in Norway and one of them was in Amsterdam. Now what happened then is the scientists then went, oh, we've got this information. They went their separate ways and worked on it for a week to try and triangulate where it came from. And they came together at the end of the week and both had exactly the same information. Now, these GPS jamming, or whatever you like to call it, lasts for literally seconds, I think 2.3 seconds or something along those lines. But what happened is they triangulated it, this latest one, to a Rusky satellite called Cosmos 2546. Okay. Because they had the distance it had to be able to cover the whole area, and then they worked out on the plane of which it should be and how far it had to be from Earth, etc. And there was only this one satellite there. Now they did come up and say, well, hang on, Cosmos 2546 only got launched in 2020, but this glitch has been happening for years earlier. And what they basically came to the assumption of, there are actually in that particular zone 6 satellites, Rusky satellites, that form a, well, they call it a dome, um, uh, like a to spot missiles that are launched and all that sort of stuff. They call it an iron dome. Or actually, they call it the Golden Dome, but I don't know why they call it that. But it's like the Iron Dome, just eyes in the sky type thing. There are 6 of them apparently in a constellation at that particular level. Okay, so what do I want to have a look at? I want to have a look and remember last year. Was it last year? Yes, Ursula von der Leyen's uh, plane, its GPS glitched. Now she is the head of the EU. Her plane GPS had issues, and that were reported. So let's have a look. I'm using, as I said, the Sci-Fi Tarot. Is this right? Is this latest glitch that they tracked? Because prior to that, they hadn't. None of the centres had managed to capture the data of the messaging. They just didn't have the ability, or they weren't waiting for it or looking for it. But let's have a look. Is there any truth in this speculation that it is? Now, what they were talking about in the video is that the glitch itself is ever so slightly to one side of taking out the GPS completely, to try and avoid a detection. But, if you're doing a test for something that you don't want to be discovered that you're testing for, you sort of swoop past it, if that makes sense. So let's have a look. Is there any truth in this? What is this what we're a lot of us have been seeing 3 Days of Darkness for a while. I've done a couple of videos on it a long time ago, and as those that know me know, sometimes these things take a long time to come to fruition, such as the Albanian island that I read on, 12, 18 months ago, and it's now back in the news. Okay, come on, let's have a look. Okay, this card popped out. What do we need to know? The 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles. The invasion took years of preparation, but all the planning paid off. Okay. Me reading that little bit at the top, I don't know if the camera can focus on that. The 7 of Pentacles, it's about nurturing, growing something until it can be harvested. Okay, so that would pretty much indicate that yes. Now, I believe there are 6 satellites in the constellation, but it's the 7 of Pentacles. So I don't know if there's another one to be launched, or whether the 7th is talking about the command center on the ground. Let's have a look. Keep going. Oh, this one's popped over. The challenge is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Swords. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of Swords, my bad. The 8 of Swords, which is the challenge is the intellectual restriction, the scientific community restriction, trying to avoid detection perhaps, but left for dead, exiled and left for dead is the challenge. So the 8 of Swords, entrapped, restricted, but also the fact that the scientific community have stumbled onto this, and I mean literally stumbled onto it. Okay. Intelligence being restricted. Because so they're having at St. Petersburg, the Ruskies are having their equivalent to Davos at St. Petersburg. Ukraine have absolutely been hammering them Yes, the Ruskies shoot down some drones, but no matter how many drones they shoot down, there's always more that get through. So it's almost the challenge is finding themselves in this dire situation, this restricted situation. Okay, you've got the Temperance card at the foundation, which is about creating something out of nothing. Really drawn to the imagery here. It says finding life's balance, but I'm really drawn to this imagery here of this robotic arm. It almost looks like, for those that know, I'm a bit of a Trekkie, looks like corruption by the Borg, assimilation, resistance is futile, and spinning the gyroscope, waiting, patiently waiting for the right opportunity. Ugh, don't know that I like that at all. Okay. Spinning the gyroscope with the technology there. Boy, oh boy. 5 of Pentacles on the bottom. Right. The past. Mother Russia. The Empress in the past. The strength, the USSR. That's why the Kremlin is desperately attacking Ukraine and trying to break up the EU and get US to leave NATO, etc. Because they're desperate to restore the old USSR that included countries like Poland. Oh boy, oh boy. So the power of the Ruskies in the past. We've got the 4 of Pentacles at the top, trying to keep something under wraps, trying to keep the information about the hoarded secrets. And the question is, why? So, yep, trying to keep something under wraps, under cover, something that they're sitting on. But the Sun card in the immediate future, finding themselves fully exposed. Okay. Finding their actions exposed. Wow. I mean, this particular group of scientists have discovered it. I can't imagine the Europeans will sit back on their laurels. You've got the 10 of Swords, the truth of this, bringing them down. All the points coming into this one. So this is the here and now, this is the past, this is the going forward. So externally, the 10 of Swords, the scientific community, taking them down. Went looking for a better life and found annihilation. Goodness me, that's not real good. And internally, the King of Swords, the strategy, the just saying the action of the strategy. It's almost like overreach in this. Okay. Hopes and fears, the 6 of Cups, going back to a simpler time, the past. Okay, thank you. Wanting to restore. So the hope is to restore the USSR. That's the hope. The fear is that the citizens of Rusky want to go back how it was 10, 15 years ago when they actually, they had a McDonald's on the corner and they had a Ralph Lauren and all this better life than what they've got now. So that's the hopes and fears. The outcome, the Page of Swords, the whistleblower swinging in and coming forward. The Knight of Pentacles, the mercenary. And then we've got the 6 of Wands, a false victory, claiming a false victory. Ascendants. The King of Pentacles, the moneyed oligarchs. He had it all. What he did with it changed the universe. and the Page of Wands, the information being brought forward, and then the Page of Pentacles. So we've got this youthful energy or this new energy, Page of Wands, new plan, Page of Pentacles. Welcome to the future, develop your skills. Got the Two of Wands, choices about Earth that need to be made, and an end of what was, the Death card. Gosh, I do wonder whether this is also going to be a choice that's going to bring. No, I think it's just the end of what was and the beginning of what can be. The underlying energy, Five of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Trojan horse, the false knight offering gifts, but the Five of Pentacles, moral, financial, ethical corruption, the Hermit, the Wheel of Fortune. So seeing it for what it is and the change coming. Okay, so I'm getting, yeah, absolutely, yes. But it's now out there to be seen. So now that this is out there, when was that video released? 5th of June, so it was only a couple of days ago. How are the Europeans going to react? So yes, it is. The Ruskies are doing it. How's the European community? Remembering also, okay, that's really interesting because what I'm getting is that, so you had Shady rabbiting on in the UK. Well, I hope he does for Farage what he did for Orban, attacking the UK, attacking Starmer. Not a fan of Starmer, but, hey, get in your own lane, Shady. Attacking Starmer. This is for the people of the UK to sort out, not for you to be poking your nose in. So you had Barnes attacking Starmer. Then you had Keg's breath over there. Talk about go over like a cup of cold sit, like a lead balloon. Lemon egg. The people of France have said, F off. Take your garbage and go with you. And the reason why, as pointed out by Hogarth over the weekend, the reason why there is this migration issue is because of countries like the Ruskies and the regime in the US causing or funding or supporting or whatever conflicts in countries in Africa and Asia, etc. And the Middle East. Syria is a good example. Lebanon's another example. So that people flee, because if you are someone like me with a couple of little grandkids and I have the option to take my grandkids and go to somewhere where they're not thinking they're going to get blowed up every 10 minutes or something, then I would do it. Absolutely, I would do it. So the reason why I've got this migration problem happening is because of the conflicts that are being funded by people like the Ruskies. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, trying to split up the EU. Okay, what are the EU? They see through it. They see through this BS. Those that are in a position to make the important decisions, they see through it. The problem is that you've got people over there like Farage and is it Barbadella or something, Le Pen's protege. We've got in Australia our own version in the Orange Harpy, who are soundbiting to the lowest common denominator. And people are falling for it without actually understanding. The amount of people I said to on the weekend, these squeaky whites that are complaining about immigrants, and I say, well, where did your ancestors come from? Oh, that's different. They fled persecution back in the 1950s. Well, yeah, duh. Like, wow. Anyhow, get off my little hobby horse. What is what is the EU going to do about this? What is the EU going to do about this? Two cards that fell out. Come on down, let's have a look. I may or may not get to the Starseed Oracle. Right, the first one that fell out was strength. Strength of unity, strength of togetherness. The challenge is this Seven of Pentacles, which was the signifier for, was it the Ruskies? The challenge is the harvesting, the Seven of Pentacles, the interruption, just the signifier energy of this particular event that they're doing. So pretty much the Strength card fighting off this creature that is trying to tear her apart. Ick. The struggle to tame the beast. Who will survive? So it is internally within the EU, you've got this struggle because it's being fed and nurtured by those that have vested interest. The Seven of Pentacles. At the foundation, we've got the King of Cups, the diplomat, the emotionally mature leader, strengthened leadership here. So this is the energy they're stewing in at the moment, is this diplomatic strength and strength of mature action. Okay, in the past, we've got the Three of Pentacles working together to... Now, looks like Houston or another space monitoring system, Three of Pentacles. So this is very possibly three countries working together. I know it's a map of the US, but go with me here. Three countries working together to diagnose this information. So we had Norway, Amsterdam, and I don't know where the guys that actually picked it up come from, that did the work. But three lots working together to expose this. Right, crowning the reading, Six of Cups. Oh, goodness me. Just wanting things to calm down. So the energy over it, the Six of Cups, can be naivety. Okay. Is this beast? No, I don't think it is, but okay. I'm going to say this is naivety over what they have captured, is what my guides are telling me. There is a naivety over what they have discovered. Okay. You've got the Lovers, contracts, agreements, working together. Their passion brought war to the galaxy. Well, that's a worry. Something here about, okay, the immediate future. I mean, it can be trade. Hogarth has this as his trade. This is international contracts. It could be an unbalanced contract, but their passion brought war to the galaxy. So I'm asking about the EU. Working together, becoming stronger in their partnership to combat the deliberate conflicts that are happening elsewhere. Okay, let's have a look. What have we got here? The Six of Wands, the victory, can be the false victory, but victory of messaging perhaps, been seen and heard. And then we've got the Ace of Cups, a cleansing and a new beginning, but also an emotional overwhelming with this, getting this knowledge out there. Hopes and fears, judgment. Yep. Collective awakening. Right, we've got the Five of Wands, the conflict that's happening, the attempt to tear apart, tear down. The Four of Wands, some sort of announcement potentially coming out of the White House, or this could be, again, a coming together, because it says a joyous celebration of homecoming, but this is usually my White House card. But an attempt to tear apart. It could be a message from the White House coming out. The eyeballs, the surveillance. Where are we going with this? Could be the White House trapped by the messaging. The Five of Cups, the disappointment, the regret, a disaster. And then we've got the Queen of Wands, this inspirational feminine figure standing up, the Hermit, casting a light into the dark, into the devil energy with their undies on. And then Temperance, the devil's attempt to spin, create something out of nothing, is going to find itself turning on this wheel of fortune. On the bottom, we've got the Fool, the Ten of Pentacles, and then we've got, what's that? The Wands, Nine of Wands, is it? Yeah, card number 9, Nine of Wands. The guardrails holding, keeping this evil on the other side. The Eight of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Death card again. And then we've got the Ace of Wands and the World and the King of Wands. So I think the EU's going to hold, but whatever the Ruskies have planned here, it's part of, and I'm just getting it's Shady and Heggs. It's part of that attempted undermining. Remember when Zelensky went to the White House and he wore what he always, actually he dressed in a black suit out of respect instead of his usual khakis. And they absolutely sat there and derided him. It was the most disgusting display, but it was an attempt to undermine. Now, I believe Congress have ordered that what has been promised to Ukraine be sent. Whether it ever does or not is another matter, because this regime seems to disregard Congress. But yeah, the messaging from Kegs, so disrespectful, so disgusting. And it's up there with, remember a couple of years ago during his first regime, the Orange Idiot went over there for the D-Day remembrance, and he bailed on attending because there was a slight drizzle. Oh, just disgusting. But that combined with Shady, because they lost Hungary, they lost Orbán after Shady went in and battered for Orbán. So let's have a look. Is there anything else we need to know? No, this feels more earth-based. I'm not going to use the Starseed Oracle. This feels very much earth-based energies. It's not the ETs. Is there anything else we need to know? Just a couple of cards to finish up. Come on down, let's have a look. Temperance. There's that card again. The Six of Wands, the Victory, and the Judgment. This is also about being seen with the Six of Wands. So this is the trying to spin, trying to create something out of nothing. But it could also be with the Judgment, there is a winning of bringing back moderation and balance. But it feels like this is, yeah, it's just reinforcing the Knight of Wands, volatile information coming forward about secrets. And you've got the Rocket here, got the Moon, but it's the Moon card, the Knight of Wands, volatile information coming forward about what was previously secret, and there's Russia with the Empress, the world being brought to an end, the Six of Cups again, and then the Fool, new beginnings. It is not going to work for them. They've been found. You've got the Two of Swords, choice that needs to be made. You've then got the Two of Pentacles, juggling, finding balance, and then the High Priestess, secrets being revealed. So this is about the work to find out what's going on, this information being revealed with the High Priestess. You've then got the Eight of Cups, which feels very much about that desperation silo, King of Wands, and the Star and the Chariot. King of Wands, this new leadership stepping forward, the Star bringing hope and healing, and the Chariot, strength and moving on over rough terrain. Okay. They've been discovered. February, it happened this year, and then it's been a couple of months for them to actually work out what the heck was going on, and then a couple of months to confirm it. And here we are in June, and it's no longer secret. It's part of this Kremlin desperation. So just be aware that they do have this apparently up their sleeve. And the more desperate they become as these sorts of things get exposed, the more rash they're going to behave in this attempt to hang on to this position of whatever it is that they're trying to hang on to, which is they know it's going, they know it's dying off, they know the wheel has turned, they know they are not in the position of power anymore, but they're not prepared to give it up. And it's not just in the Kremlin, it's various elements across the world. And as they become more desperate, it's the trap skunk, the trap possum, the trap rat, whatever you like to call it, finding themselves trapped in the corner, the trap snake. It's when they are most dangerous, and we need to just be aware. Be aware, love your grandkids, enjoy life, step out of your comfort zone to try new things as we develop and grow who we are. Okay, love to you all. Last one for today. I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. Catch you later. Bye-bye.